Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are joining us. We are super excited for this particular session, and all of you are welcome to our session on mastering the art of innovation and communication. We are super excited to be joined by each and every one of you. So please do engage us as you can. On our chat box down here. We will traditionally not be having a plenary question and answer session, but at some points we will be breaking into breakaway rooms where you'll get an opportunity to engage with one another, but also engage with the material that you'll be learning from Pamba. So, as we normally do with our tradition, please tell us who you are. We'd prefer to have your name, the organization that you represent, as well as your role. And where are you joining us from the world? We would love to know which part of the world you are based in at the moment, and what are you looking forward to in this particular session. So without any further ado, because also the session is, as you know, limited for time, we would have loved to have as much time to spend with Pamba, but today we only have about 75 minutes together. So we're going to try and use as much of our time to learn as much, but also make sure that we go through whatever it is that we've planned for you for the day. So without any further ado, I'm going to ask Pamba to please introduce herself. I'm normally known for butchering people's introduction. So I don't want to do that at the moment. I'm going to ask Pamba to just tell us a little bit more about who they are and where they come from. Over to you, Pamba.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Kat. That was a very lovely introduction, and I'm very excited to be here. Well, this is going to be quite something, isn't it? I'm really happy to be able to share what I know so far from what I've learned through my years of being a social media marketer. And yeah, let's get to learn, do some learning, I guess. Let me just share my screen so we can start the session. Just as Kat has said, we really don't have that much time, and there's a lot to go through. So here we are. So my name is Elsie. My name is Pamba Ojera. I am the current communication and digital outreach officer at the Youth Cafe. The Youth Cafe, we are a youth-led organization in Africa, and we work to empower disadvantaged youth, sort of like shepherding them towards sustainable development and transformative change. We want to see a world where the youth get to stand, 10 toes in, and they get to share their ideas and implement them. So one of our thematic areas is through education, research, and social services. So it's really an honor to be part of the Catalyst 2030 and get to do this. It means that I'm at least in some way championing what our organization stands for. So just as Kat has said, we are one of the one say pillar of innovative communication is through visual language. It's a very core aspect of digital communication. And I'm assuming most of us are very novice, or at least you have some level of graphic design understanding. But just in case or for revision purposes, or just in case you don't know, we're going to start with the graphic design element, just to give you a foundation of where you can start. Because once you know this, everything it's free fall from here.
Yeah. All right. Maybe
And
before you just start, I think it's
okay,
important. Thank you
yeah,
for that. Just to give them a quick minute of the overall goal for this. And the reason we're having part of this session and the importance of this session we're having today is, as you all know, we are developing and growing our Africa Forward chapter. And the idea behind it is we want to also be able to develop our website. So some of the information that we'll be learning today, we ask you to take it in and generate whatever content it is, or learn how to best, learn how to profile your organization so that once we are able and we are at the point where we've been able to develop our website for Africa Forward, we'd be able to easily profile your organizations and also profile some of the amazing work that you're doing. So that, I think that is also a little bit important, just so that you have it at the back of your mind as we engage with Pamba's presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Kat, thank you. Thank you so much for that. At least now everybody understands what we're trying to do. Okay, as someone who uses Canva for graphic design, I know one thing you're going to meet out there is that once you just start saying, oh, I actually do graphic design, and then someone asks you, oh, okay, cool. Which softwares do you use? And you're like, Canva. The air changes suddenly. You're like, oh, really? You call yourself a graphic design when you're using Canva. So that's why I had actually put this proverb here. Okay, even a fool can throw a stone, but it takes a wise man to know where it stands. This is something I've learned as I engage more with design. I wholeheartedly love to do it because I don't know, there's just something about engaging my creative process that makes this more of a hobby. It's like a fun hobby for me, but I get to do it for brands or for organizations and sort of paid for it. So it's very fun for me. However, one thing I've learned is that it's all about technique. It's all about knowing how you're going to compose your elements in a page. You don't need to know, it's good. It's very good to know how to use Adobe Premiere, Adobe Illustrator, and all of that. However, as you're starting out with Canva, you're still very much good to go. So even though it's very basic, you still have quite a very good tool in your arsenal. So like I said, it's all about technique. However, with Canva, you don't have much room to navigate. As much you can manipulate as much text or image or anything with the Adobe software, but with Canva, it's very much straightforward. It's almost like you're piling stuff on top of each other. So you have to think about, well, I guess the composition of the page. For example, just what you're looking at right now is like a text, it's like a tile in itself. Yeah. However, Catalyst 2030, I've decided to fill up the bottom page, and now you have to think about how everything else has to sort of stand against each other so that it makes sense. Okay, I've used images so that you are able to follow through what exactly I'm talking about, and then the difference in text as well, so that you fully grasp what in what hierarchy is the text flowing through. So I hope you understand it. Surely you only have to think about how everything has to go together. If you have style, you have style, no matter what, no matter where you're getting your stuff from. So that's one thing you have to think about. So I'm hoping that as we're moving forward with Canva, you have this mindset. You are only thinking about how you can pull together your creative juices to make sure that you have a very compelling style. Okay. So I was hoping, before we get into it, I was hoping I need you to critique some other people's work. I'm sure you don't have much understanding, or maybe you do. But as of now, which one do you think is a very good design, and which one do you think is a bad design? Maybe just like 1 minute, anyone who is there. Okay. All right, I'm going to put our own publications on blast because I really just do think like the AB are very bad designs. They're extremely bad because everything is everywhere. Nothing correlates to one another. If you're looking at the image of the food and the text, it really doesn't make sense. And what's at the bottom, really, nothing is cohesive. Nothing suggests that anything in that text are merges together. Same as to the second one. Although the C is a very good design because you can see that there's space. Okay, oh no, it's white space, but at this point like orange space. Everything sort of correlates, maybe perhaps with the way they've placed the logos is not ideal. However, everything sort of like merges together, as well as concept in D. It's balanced. You can tell what exactly you're looking at just by the text itself. So let's just get into it. Design, you have to think about human psychology. When you're looking at a page, you start to look from the left side, from the left hand, from the top left, and you move on in sort of like a Z, instead of like a Z pattern. So you start from the left, going right, going to the left and right. So that's how you, when you're designing a page, you have to look at how how someone is going to read it. Okay. So one of the design elements is alignment, how everything, this is when you're doing a piece of paper, well, just like I said. So with alignment, this is mostly related to text and how everything is going to be together. For example, just what's the left alignment and the right alignment, that column right there is the left alignment. When you're looking at a viewing piece of paper, that column right there is the right alignment. The top one is the middle. Everything is balanced. Everything is in the middle. The text alignment and the design principles are the third alignment, and the justified is more of everything is more like a block. Okay, so it's usually in a sentence, one is longer and that another is shorter. So with the justified, it's more everything has been made to fit. I will show you on Canva eventually. So design element number 2 is balance. This obviously everything has to make sense. You know, I think it's human nature to look at things that are very symmetrical. So when it's not, you can tell that like something is off with this design or situation right here. So when it's good, everything looks together. When it's bad, there's some sort of asymmetry. So I've actually pulled some designs from the Catalyst page. As you can see, the first one, it's actually balanced because of the manner of which everything is placed. Then to the second one, yes, there are some blocks are bigger than the other, but there is some sort of symmetry together. You can tell that someone was trying to, the asymmetry is purposeful, that it's symmetrical. And the third one is not at all balanced because everything is everywhere. You can't really tell what is happening. It's almost as if the designer didn't quite think through what is important, what element, what message is trying to put out there. So you can tell what sort of design is balanced and what isn't, just based on how. I think it's also with balancing. It's also about intentionality. Yeah, things might be all over the place, but the asymmetry is so asymmetrical that it's balanced. I hope you understand what I mean. And the next one is proximity. Yes, just by what is written here, this relates to how the elements are close to one another. I provided an example that I have designed for one of our social media templates. We were looking for clinical supervisors. So the elements are the text, or the logos, and well, basically everything on the page. And you can see that the design is balanced based on how there's a hierarchical set because we're hiring. You can tell that's what I want you to see first. We're hiring, and then the second is what are we looking for? Yeah, everything.
I have an experience on for Huawei.
I'm sorry, come again.
No, apologies for that. It was a participant who forgot to unmute.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. Sorry about that. And the fourth one is scale. So this is just looking at the space around the elements. I provided this example because I really don't think it's a very good example of how the scale of things. I think you understand. I hope you understand, because everything is more like nothing. If I was to redesign this thing again, I would probably put them in blocks like the time indicating the sessions. I'll probably put them in the left corner, or on the topics of the sessions, I'll probably put them in the right corner, but on opposite sides, but sort of like relating and in blocks, so that at least when someone is looking at it, you're able to see what is what, as opposed to this. The colors are very contrasting. Just to put catalyst into that year on blast year or hot day, this is a very good example of what a bad scale principle on design is. I hope you get what I mean. Okay, number 4 is contrast. So this mostly relates to colors or text. I provided an example that I had designed before. Contrast is, if you're looking at text, you can see the Mayuth Manze Tunaweza. That's different because I'm using obviously 2 different texts. So I'm trying to convey 2 different messages. You're trying to capture the youth, and you're trying to put the Manze Tunaweza. Yes, it's Swahili, but I want the youth to understand what you. Manze Tunaweza in English is sort of like youth empowerment. So and that's what we are as a company. So that's why we have put it like that. So contrast can be in terms of color, and it can be in terms of text mostly, but also it can also be in terms of texture. So that just depends on what you are feeling that day. Okay. Even you can see in this example, there's texture, there's this text, and well, not exactly color, because that is our brand colors. Sorry, that is our brand colors. In a manner of space, I actually put this as accidental. This is extremely important as a beginner, so that you can see how that's obviously a lack of space. It's a very intentional accident, so you're able to understand how you're placing stuff on a page. But, well, there's no space, obviously, from like that. This is extremely important. Is one sentence. This refers to an area that surrounds an element. In the second sentence, so there's no space, and then the third one, there is. I still provided the same example, so you're able to understand from the logo to the text to the animation at the bottom. I'm a very minimalistic designer. I like it when there's a lot of white space. I feel like when you're working with a black canvas, it's very easy, as opposed to sort of like cluttering, because with colors, that's already a very huge and heavy element. So I really like to work with lighter colors, so that there's room to see everything. I feel like with white space, you have room to navigate. Your eyes, it's easy on the eyes. I think that's the best way I can explain. So color theory. It's a vital piece of your graphic design, actually, because this sort of can break or make your brand. Color is the first thing that people relate to when they see your brand. Let me say that. Okay, and so this is just more than actually making your design look aesthetically beautiful or aesthetically pleasing, because various colors evoke various emotions, and if you're using red, you want to attract someone's attention. If you're using green, it's almost like you're telling a whole different story in itself. So every color, when you're picking colors for your brand, you have to think about what exactly it is that you're trying to display. For example, on my previous position, I was in a brand, I was in a digital marketing company, and the CEO intentionally chose red because it was passion. He was very passionate about digital marketing. So so our brand colors were red and white. So you can see you have to think about what it is that you're trying to relate, because everything has to have a reason on your page. Nothing can just be there for the sake of. Everything needs to have a reason. I think that's the best way to say it, because you have to think, because when you see color, that's the first. I think it relates to brand recognition. Yeah, that's the best way I can say it. If you're looking at nudes, if you're looking at clothes that are nudes, the first thing that you think about is probably like skins. If you're thinking about I don't know if black and white purely just relates to Nike. I'm not quite sure. But the best example I can give is Skims, because if I'm walking through a supermarket and I'm looking at innerwear and they're in nude, the first thing I think of is Skims, because that's what they've marketed the brand to be, or that's the colors that they've chosen their brand to work with. So I wanted to give an example of Stanley. This is one. I think this is the greatest example of why color is a very important aspect of your design. Stanley has been here for 110 years, and they haven't quite achieved this level of success. Yes, it's pre-TikTok. Yes, it's because of TikTok. But when they got a new marketer and he decided to look at the product design past just the bottle industry, just look at what the trends, what's trending, what people like, and he decided to experiment with pink and green. I think this colors that the Gen Z are very excited to have, and that sort of like skyrocketed their sales. People I want to have a Stanley Cup just because of that. They look really pretty, and I want to have a pink Stanley Cup. So color is a very, very important aspect of your design. You have to really think about who it is you're targeting and what it is that you're trying to convey, which is a very common theme in design. So if you don't yet have you haven't decided your color, I wanted to give you this software. It's called Colors. This software it really helps you to put together a color scheme that you think works. That you think work. If you're thinking with red and you try to input as much colors as you can, they're like, you can have 3 columns or 6 or more. Just it's your preference. You decide what color palette you'd rather work with. The best thing about this is there's a camera here. This button here, you can upload a photo that you feel like has all the colors that you need, and it will give you the hex code all aligned on the page. So if you don't know where to start with your color palette, this software is the best place for you to go. All right, so I guess we get to talk about Canva. You have now a basic understanding of what you can do and how to arrange stuff on a page. So let me show you how I use my Canva, or at least just walk you through the elements, the basics of Canva. Just give me a minute. Let me change my.
So while Pamba is on it, we're going to ask you all to please do, if you have questions, you've got comments, we encourage you to post them on the chat box. Otherwise, we'll also be having an opportunity at the moment to join into breakaway groups where we'll get to put all of this that we've learned into practicals. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized, I think I was talking and I was muted. Okay. So this is my Canva, and as you can see, this is everything that I'm working with, or at least worked on before. The first thing that you, as when you're trying to start designing, you have to think about where you're going to start. Are you designing for Facebook, Instagram, anything? So you have to look at the design spotlight. Anything that you want is here. Because if it's A4, A3, anything that you want, it's already here. And Okay, the best thing that I think would help you the best is if you want to design for Instagram, all you have to do is just input it there, just type in there, and Instagram templates come in. If you're looking for, so one thing that helped me is, okay, you already have the borders for an Instagram a poster, but you perhaps don't have the design, okay? So you can work with anything that's here. Of course, the template, so you have to obviously manipulate it to work with your brand design. However, sometimes you want something that you really can't get. So it's easy as just saying, if you're looking for, because like I just said, with Canva, you really can't manipulate stuff. You can't change them to look the way you want. So you have to work with what's there. But if you are looking for particular shapes that you want, you can just input it there and okay, you'll get this, but as you keep scrolling, you'll find the exact type of shape that you're looking for. Perhaps if you're looking for patterns, you want to have various patterns on your account. It's just as simple as that. You can choose this right here, or this works. If this works for you, just change it to whatever color that you want. If you're going for like a cheetah print or a sunflower or whatever it is, you can choose whatever you want. So once you have decided on what you want to work with, let me choose this because this is something that we're working on, and it's currently unprinted. It's a report on the general elections that we had in 2022. So we're just designing the front cover and the back cover. This is how we do our organization's work. So maybe you decided you want to work on a PDF or just okay. So you just click on add a page. If this is white, you just make it white or whatever color that you want. So in this particular area, this is every template that you want. It provides template in this particular format. So if you want something, if you have chosen a template and you don't like it, you can just simply come and choose something different here. Perhaps you want it more animated or whatever, you can choose it from here. So that different templates and then, sorry, anyway, different templates. So if you want to add, okay, if you want to add text, you can just come here. The various text, just simply as putting that there and working that out. If you want something different, just click there and you can work with recommended fonts or work with whatever that you want, okay? So in the elements, this is where you can add lines, tables, arrows, anything that you want. If you want any shape so that you can have like this particular shape right here, you can come here. But just remember, like I said, it's all about, with Canva, it's all about aligning, it's all about like stacking things on a page. For example, I worked with, this is the, what is it called? This is the tile itself. I just changed it to purple and I decided to add this, okay? And then you just add elements. I liked this, what are this thing called? I like this cartoon thingies and just, I added the ones that are relevant to this page and I put it there. It's as simple as that, okay? Yeah, so if you want to upload anything that you want, you can just come here. This is everything else that I thought was relevant and added on our page. If you're working on a tab and you want to draw, simple as coming here. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. I think something has happened.
We can.
Okay, very, very good. So I think I wanted to show you okay, I wanted to use this one because you can get to see how I go through my thought process. So if I want the beauty of it is that if you like a particular color palette and that's the one that works for you, you can, if you have a picture, because this has all the colors that we want, okay? And if you're clicking on a page, and if you're clicking on this shape right here, so you get all the colors right here. So you're able to choose what you think will work with your brand, with your design, okay? I like to, so this is practically my thought process. I try as much as I can on a page and see what really works. You can see how this is just my thought process, okay? So we are going to the People's Dialogue Festival that starts tomorrow. So I'm trying to work on what relates to, well, inviting people to join us or to come to see us at this event. For this particular brand, but okay, for the People's Dialogue Festival, it's more, yes, it's about political and democratic processes, because that's, the festival is meant to include to hold an avenue where everybody can talk about the situations that we are facing in Kenya. So and the brand itself has marketed itself as more like African based. So everything that, if you look at the PDF page, everything is more African themed. You know, you're seeing this type of design. So I figured, since we are sort of like, they have requested that we join them, everything that is related to this particular post, I chose to design our stuff around the same thing. So it's just, you can see I tried this, didn't work. It really didn't make sense. I tried to put in a circle, and all this is very much layered. You can group things or ungroup things, and then you move things around like so. It's all about, like I said, it's really all about putting stuff on a page, how they're going to be together, because it's layers. So I really hope that helps you understand how best, when you're facing a white canvas, where to start or what you can do to, at least, it's all about you try as much as you can and see, as you the more you do it, the more you realize, okay, this is not balanced, this doesn't make any sense, and then eventually you settle on something like so. Yeah, it's really like, this one is just, this is just a background, and I place this like that with a logo and the text. Voila, you have a social media template. So really
Paula, I
that.
think that the screen share isn't following you anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me though? Are you
Yes, we
able
can.
to hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, the last thing that we saw was
Okay.
just the Canva homepage.
Yeah, maybe to
Oh,
connect it.
dear.
There's one question, and I'm gonna ask you to just touch a little bit on it, and then we can allow everybody to go to the breakaway rooms, and then perhaps get a few minutes to just interact with Canva. So is it Tulika is asking, in fact, they were saying they're not sure if they understood the part about uploading an image that has all the colors. So is the right screen on share? I'm not sure if you get the question.
I'm sorry, just come again.
Tulika, do you mind just
Yeah,
unmuting and asking the
absolutely.
question?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hi, Pamba. So what I think you were talking about uploading an image
Okay.
that has all the colors that you want,
Okay.
and then picking from there. But we could only see the Canva home screen, so I was just trying
Oh,
to
dear.
follow that, and was requesting if you could share that again.
Okay. Okay, let me just change my screen again. I think it was this one. All right, can you see this? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so upload, okay, uploading an image. All right, just so with that, when you want to upload an image, you just come here, okay? You upload from the files, and you pick on any image that you deem necessary here. All right, so I liked this design right here because it has brand colors, and I like to experiment as much as I can. So if I am, let's say I was designing this, we're hiring clinical advisors. Okay, the next big thing is just to duplicate the page. Okay, not duplicate the page. It needs to be, you're working with the white page. Okay, so you just you pick the image again. So eventually you get to pick, okay, because you can see I actually like such images because at least the alignment of brand colors, like so. So you just put them on a page like so, on the second page that you're working with. Okay, so if you want to, if this was a blank canvas, okay, so you click on it, and then when you come at this is where you get to change colors on pretty much anything. Okay? So everything that you put on the page, any picture with colors is going to come here. You can see the colors on our logo. You can see the colors in this picture right here or this. So if you want to switch it up a bit, but the colors still relate to your brand, everything is here. So you just pick it up and just change it like that. If I want to change this and I like this right here, I just change it like that. So I really hope that answers your question. Does it?
Yes, I think if not, they'll get an opportunity to practice in the breakaway room.
Okay.
So I think maybe we're ready to get into the breakaway rooms. Okay, so if you can just maybe stop sharing so that Mariam can place the breakaway room question. So the goal of the breakaway ideally is to capture your brand's essence. So we get an opportunity, each and every one of us here, to craft our own social media tile. And I think this is then the best opportunity for you to engage with it. And if you have any other questions, please do throw them in the group. There will be some people who will be able to help you go around some of the questions that you'll be asking. Yeah, no, as you would know, it's always the amount of time that we get for these breakaway sessions. And it's almost always at that point in time when the conversation is just hitting the right nerve, and then it says we need to leave the breakaway room. So I think some of the questions that were asked, if you can still remember, perhaps this is an opportunity to also just put them on the chat box. And then we'll also try and share some of the links so that you can engage with them, even post the conversation right now. Back to you, Pamba.
Okay, just so I can, this is actually what you were meant to design. I hope you got that. Just so I can summarize, if you don't know where to start, number one thing that helped me when I was starting out is having a folder that you saved the designs that you like. So it's easier that when you're starting, when you don't know where to begin and you have a set of designs that you feel like could work with your brand, that helps. You can also follow design blogs. The more you interact with these things, the more it helps. And then you can also get to redo other people's design. One thing that helps, if Behance is one place that I love, helps a lot, and then Pinterest is also another thing that could help you out. I also enlisted other things that could help you with your design journey. And yeah, I hope you can get to interact with this even after this session.
Real quick,
Okay.
could you return to the other applications, the helpful applications page? I want to take a screenshot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you good now? Okay. All right.
Got it.
So
Thank
all right. So now you know how to well, possibly design or at least have an idea so you can get to know where to start. After you've designed the post, now you need to think about what messaging can follow the post. Yeah. Okay. One thing that you need to realize every time you are working on particular content, you have to think about the journey that the customer is travel. Okay. This funnel right here is everybody that's on this session travel at least go through this journey when they're looking for a particular product, organization, or design or anything. Okay. You start with awareness. That's when you know you have a problem and you are trying to figure out how to solve it. Okay. And consideration, you have picked out a list of organizations that you feel like at least would solve your problem, and you're trying to look at what best works for you. With conversion, you have found at least a product or an organization that you feel like best solves your need. And then loyalty, the more you use it, the more you engage it. You build trust with it, and you choose to engage with the brand more and more. Right. So this is how you need to be thinking about every time you're creating content. Just like I said, the top of the funnel is the people. You have to think about what you're solving, and the bottom, the middle of the funnel is when they're considering the options. So this is mostly where you're going to be spending your time as a content creator. The bottom, the middle, and the bottom. Okay. Yes. At the bottom of the funnel is when the prospects are deciding on a solution and then eventually become customers. So this is the journey that they pass. In awareness, they get to know you either through ads, okay? So that they have, through the search box, they have typed in something. They have typed whatever it is that they need, and then first thing that comes up is obviously the ads, and then the second thing is the organic content. So it's through this that they get to know your brand and how it's related to the problem. Obviously, in social media, it's also the exact same thing. Okay. As they get to know you, they're looking at what company or brand best solves their needs. So they're looking at reviews, they're looking at email newsletters, they're reading as much information as possible on the brand. Okay. So when they're satisfied, they get to now purchase, they get to convert. Okay. So that's when if they want to buy something, they go to the website. If they want to if they need to reach out, they call the office or they call the contact center, and then the process continues. They are happy with your brand, and then they eventually now want to stay. They want to stay loyal to you, so they either choose to subscribe to your newsletter, or they follow your community pages and such and such. And then with advocacy is when they feel confident in your brand. They get to tell their friends, or they get to share your brand with other people. So this is the journey that every customer gets to follow. So when you're creating content, you have to, you're creating, every message needs to hit at least one sector on the funnel. Okay, so I needed to give an example. For example, this is Alex, he's a university student, and he goes to school and he's looking for a place to volunteer his time. So the stages that he's going to pass through, just following that funnel, is he will research organizations. He will find numerous organizations. After that, he'll compare, choose the most suitable one, reach out to the chosen one, and then obtain a request to join, and then obviously get to join. So I have put the action, mindset, and insights of every, at least so you understand what the customer is going through at that very time. Just like I explained, he will remove at his phone, he will surf through the internet and walk through what he encounters. So here he's just thinking about what does he want, will he find a good organization, and is he really sure about this? So here in this sector, you are supposed to think about you're producing content that will introduce him to your brand. They educate him, they inspire him, and they motivate him. So it could be literally anything: your blog post, your social media updates, your videos, and your podcast. Although I don't think you'll spend a lot of time here. Mostly when you need to reel them in. It will be through the middle of the funnel, because this is where they get to compare and they get to choose what they want. Okay. Now this is where, when you're creating content, you have to showcase your expertise. You want them to choose you. So this is if it's webinars, if it's reports, if it's publications, anything that you have that you feel like, if I was going through and I'm looking for a particular organization or company or product, and I feel like when I'm reading through something, or at least from the statistics they give me, then for sure I think this is what I would go with. So most of the time we'll be creating content from this particular level. Okay. And as he settles on an organization, this is just where he's probably just thinking, okay, I'm happy with my choice. I'm very confident with what I've chosen. So he's starting the process to now convert. Okay. He reaches out and he starts the interviewing process and he starts the registration process. So he's just probably just thinking, maybe he's just like anxious. Is it going to work out? Is it not? How long is the process? Does he have the necessary skills? So in this area, you want them to stay. You want them to feel at ease with choosing a brand, because obviously, okay, you want them to feel at ease in choosing a brand. So here you share your success. You you give as much information that will enable them to see easy and be like, okay, I'm good. I think I'm good to go. I'm happy. Let's go with this. Okay. So when you're creating content, think about every step. Just an example, when you meet someone for the very first time, you will not like meet a business partner, then they give you the ideas and you sign a contract at that time. No, it doesn't work like that. You'll hear him out. You will perhaps consider what he says, consider what other organizations have to offer, and then when you're happy with his proposal, then you get to sign. So this is how you really need to think about your content. You have to coax them. It's a seduction game in a way. You can't just put everything in one place. It's like you're holding their hand and guiding them step by step until they choose. They are your brand advocate or your loyal customers, or I'm saying customers because it can really apply to any set of business that you have. So I hope that at least with that you're able to understand how to actually from the funnel you can create content pillars. So now that every week you can choose to, like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're just focusing on awareness. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're focusing on providing being like a thought leader or so, and then on Friday you're just choosing to now promote, because you obviously still need to promote the business. You're just choosing to promote. Or Friday is more casual day. You put anything that is a meme or funny that relates to your brand. So yeah, it really helps you to, at least so you don't feel the weight of creating content at the time, or like making social media posts. So yeah, it just makes it as easy and as seamless as possible. So you get to pick any audience in whatever stage that they are. You get to pick them and slowly guide them to be your brand advocate. And yeah, well, maybe Kat, I think this is where you take over.
Alrighty. So everybody now gets an opportunity to go again back into your breakaway rooms. And this time around, a slightly different task, but feeding back onto the first activity. You are asked to create a compelling social media post that accompanies the design you made at the first breakaway session. And then after that, you post it on social media, and then you tag at Catalyst 2030 for reviews. So all the best. Wonderful. We are back at it. And this is that one opportunity where we then get to show the work that we've been able to do. And I'm certain I'm seeing a couple of comments. People are having fun. Some people have experience using Canva, and some were using it for the first time. So and the practical opportunity. I think we want to take it back to Pamba.
Pamba, you're muted. And feel free if you have questions to put those questions in the chat, everyone.
And in fact, one of the other things, whilst we are here, that was raised in the breakaway room that we had was what other ways, I mean, I think some of the people are quite interested and those who are a little bit experienced with Canva, can be used to explore other tools. So for example, animations, and other platforms within Canva. I'm not sure if at some point, Pamba, you would want to create a training opportunity where you could go ahead and take everyone through Canva and its more advanced tools.
I would love to actually. I feel like I rushed through things so that at least you're able to grasp, to have an idea of Canva, but I would really love to take you through a Canva training. I use Canva on a daily basis. I've been able to at least find shortcuts to make sure that my work is easier. So yeah, if when time permits, for sure, I would love that.
Wonderful. So do people want to share some of their creatives, the kind of work that they've been working on for just this activity? You know, I'm curious to hear some of the stories that you've been able to come up with. Otherwise, if nobody wants to talk about their story, all right, is somebody?
Hi.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't think someone here has developed something from this session because of the time. So I don't really think that people develop session, even though there are some of us who've been using Canva and we already have some products that are online, but it's not from this
Okay.
session. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. So maybe then let's use the remaining minutes to answer some of the most pressing questions that you may want to have answered while we have Pamva's attention.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I actually love the conversation. I think this has been one of my best sessions in Catalyst, but this is my first time hearing about this particular software, which is Canvas. So I'm actually get interested how to use it effectively, but I actually want to know on the process if I want to do something with it, will not be able to do exactly what I want to do. Like along the line, if there will be a means to contact someone or contact another page for help, because I really love the software.
All right. I think I struggled to hear a bit of what you were saying. But Pamba, did you hear the question?
No. Maybe Ibrahim, could you kindly repeat?
All right. Ibrahim, are you able to
Yeah,
quickly
hello.
yes. Do you mind just getting
No,
back?
what I was saying is like,
Yeah.
what
Sorry, your line is,
hello.
we can't hear your line. Maybe if you could move slightly to a different space.
Yeah, what I was saying is
Much better.
software, and Yeah, hello, you can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I am in the Okay, sorry, I am in the basement, sorry. What I was trying to say, this is my first time about learning on this particular software. So I want to know, because I'm already interested about doing something on my own in relating to this software. So I want to know in the process, if I want to design something, I want to do something relating to my own organization, if I got stuck on the line, will there be a means to contact someone for guidance, or will there be a way in which I can get in touch with someone, or there will be any channels for help
Okay.
so I can be able to do
Got
what
you.
I'm supposed to do?
Okay, I got your question. Pamba, do you want to respond to that? What Ibrahim is asking is, in fact, they're saying it's their first time engaging with Canva. So they want to
Okay.
know, should they wish to continue using it, is
Okay.
there anywhere behind a technical person who can assist them with some of their needs, should they get to use the platform?
Okay. I suppose I could assist you if you really need help. However, you'd need to reach out to communications@theyouthcafe.com. That's the email that I use. So if you need any particular help in that regard, just send me an email, and I think I should be able to help you out. If you want me to critique, review, possibly help you put together, you can actually, the best way that you can do this is you can there's a part in every tile, or in every project that you do, you're able to share a link with someone so they can help you edit. Yeah, so if you do that, I think that would be helpful. That would help. We'll be able to help each other.
Wonderful.
Does that
Wonderful.
answer your question, Ibrahim?
I think you were able to touch on it. So please, if you
Yes,
don't mind,
yes. Thanks
just
very much.
if you could put your email. I saw your link, your LinkedIn link on the chat box. So if you could kindly just put your email address there, and then people will be able to reach out to you. Are there any other burning questions that anyone may have? Or even comments?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so I just want to add up to that, the assistant that Ibrahim might need in the future. So Ibrahim, on the screen for a design that you'll be doing, so you can easily share that design online with someone who you know that is on Canva. They have a Canva account, and they are maybe an expert in designing, so you can share the design with them just from online, and they will just log into it, not using your account. Once you share that file with them to work in it, they're going to support you to do the design.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for that. And I think we've come to the end of our session. Please do share some of those tiles that you have worked on, and you are more than encouraged to please also tag at Catalyst 2030. We've got some of, and in fact, there's one person I really want to acknowledge that we see who's also behind communication with Catalyst, and that's Christine Pearson. So please do share. They're quite experienced in this, and you may also get in touch with them should you require any particular communication with Catalyst. So please do share your feedback with us. You'll see on your screen there is a slight short evaluation form, so we get to see how we did for this particular session, which will truly help us with many other sessions going forward. Oh, wow, this is interesting. So far, what
And
what this
we're over on time, so we don't have to do this unless you guys want to. How's that, Kat?
Yes, certainly.
So let's go ahead and wrap
So
up.
otherwise, we appreciate you all for your time and for engaging with this process. Please do engage with many other sessions. And as I've said, these are all linked up into a bigger process that we are trying to develop, especially with Africa Forward. As you know, we are trying to build a brand, a website for Africa Forward. And for that website to be live, we'll need as much content, and we'll be profiling some of the amazing work that you're doing. And this is just one of those opportunities that we make available. So in case you haven't really had a reach out or some sort of communication or branding with regards to your work that you do, take advantage of such opportunities with Canva to be able to get your work out there and the world to get to see the amazing work that you do. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Till next time.